Hi YouTubers, it's Rob here again, and I've got a little project to show you. The nights are getting long and dark, and so it's time to come back down to the workshop and have some little projects going. So I've got one little project to show you, and that concerns this. You probably recognise this. This is the Glock Field Knife. And as most of you probably know already, it's got a very, very nice tough scabbard or sheath. It's a very sturdy blade, which comes up to a nice sharpness. I just heard somebody say that it comes up to Rockwell 55. Its hardness is Rockwell 55. And so it's very, very tough little knife. And as you all know, let's see if I can zoom in on this. It's got this plastic cap here on the pommel, and the fact that it's got a plastic cap on the pommel means you can't actually do any hammering with it. So I thought, well, maybe there's a way to get over that. And as you've probably seen before, when people take this apart, here we are, my trusty Swiss Army knife, you can leverage this cap off. There we go, get something underneath it, keep twisting. I don't know if anybody's ever done this on video before, but here we go. This one, as they say on children's TV, here's one I made earlier. I have actually done this earlier, but it was, what's the word? It's now coming off. There we go, I think. It's probably good enough. No, I still need a tool. Ouch. And do my best not to cut myself. I'm trying to use the thick edge of this blade because it's I don't want to damage the plastic, but it looks like I'm going to damage me instead. Not such a good idea. So anyway, that's the trick. Maybe I can use the screwdriver. There we go, that's better. And after very little time, the plastic plug will come out, trust me. There we go. And what you see is that the handle is hollow and contains a very nice piece of steel on the inside. That steel looks like it's been parkerized, if I can hold it there again. See, it's got kind of grey finish, and the grey finish is, it's my guess, is parkerization. And that gives me a clue that perhaps the steel is able to rust, but anyway, not such a big issue. And if we get some measuring equipment, I will just do that right now and come back instantly. 1 second. So here I am, back again. I've got this vernier caliper here. So there are two things I can do with this. One is I can use this part of the vernier caliper. Can you see that? Let's just zoom in a bit. So the bottom part, there we go, look, that's against a nice white background. I can use this part of the vernier caliper, which reflects the gap up here at the top. So right now no gap, now about this much, it's exactly the same. I can use that to measure the depth of the hole. So here we go. And doing that, we see that the hole is, in fact, 3 3.85, you're not seeing anything, 3.85, trust me, it says 3.85 millimeters. And the other thing we can do with this is, of course, either measure an outside diameter, just put the knife down, there we go, outside diameter using these things, or an inside diameter using these two. And that's what we're going to do right now. So here's the knife handle, try not to drop it on my foot, here we go, and stretching it across we find, surprise surprise, it's, yes, 12 millimeters, exactly, more or less. And that brought me to an idea. I thought, if this thing is 12 millimeters, let's zoom out a bit, then there must be perhaps a way to get to a position where I can use this to hammer something. So hammer there. But for that I need some kind of steel here and some flat steel. Well, if that's 12 millimeters internal diameter, then perhaps a bolt of 12 millimeters with a 12 millimeter thread would just do the trick and will pass inside. And in fact, I've just discovered that this doesn't actually fit. It's too easy. I thought I was going to cut a thread in here and get this to fit on the top. Okay, scrap that. Bye. Okay, so here I am back again, and what I'd like to do is to continue with the story of this Glock Field Knife. As you remember, the pommel here is plastic. It has a plastic cap, which I shall remove, as you've seen before. So here we are with some kind of non-scratchy Swiss Army knife, screwdriver attachment, and inside it, as we've seen, is a steel tube. Now I would like to be able to use this for hammering once I'm out in the field. So obviously I need to get rid of this little plastic piece, because that's really going to end up chewed up to smithereens. And you can see the knife itself has this very nice steel tube. So the question is, how can we make a hammer? And I've had this idea that what we could do is put in this cut a thread, and then apply a bolt like this one, which is M14, and screw it then in. So at the end of the day you're just left with this hex head on the top. Silver looks a bit kind of flashy in the field, and I don't really want that. And that's the downside with this bolt I could buy. It's zinc plated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip the zinc plating off the bolt head, and then I'm going to use some fast bluing and to turn it a nice metallic black. So that's the plan. In order to cut the thread, of course, I need to get this screw cutting bit and drive it round and round and round while it cuts a thread in here. This is an M14, this is also M14, so in my view this is a plan. So at the end of the day we're left with this hex head turned black, sticking out of the top. Let's zoom in on that. Sticking out of the top of the Glock. And of course, not only can you use this flat surface for a hammer, and you can use it for a Glassbreaker. So that's the name of the game. That's where we're going to go, and I'll like to take you along. Come along for the ride. So here we are, slowly turning this cutting tool in the handle of the Glock Field Knife. I've added some little spots of cutting oil as we go along the way, and of course the deeper we go, the deeper the level of cut, and that makes the whole thing that much harder. But we're getting there. You can see there is this thread which is getting deeper and deeper, and so I won't bore you with all the details of this process, but we've got plenty of depth to go. The whole thing will go, in fact, right to the hilt of the thread cutting tool. So, as you can see, we've come quite a way here now. Let's zoom in and see if you can discern that better. Let's move the camera a little bit down. Sorry about the jiggle. There we go. So here we go. This is the screw cutting bit, which is now really quite deep inside the handle of the Glock Field Knife. I'm going to take it down just so that we've got maybe just the last bits of screw. I need to make sure that the thread is large enough so that it can be accept the M14 screw. This is an M14 screw cutting bit. Here we are, making sure that it's nice and free running. There it isn't. We're shaving off little bits as we go. There we go, and we're almost there. So I think we're more or less there. So then it'll be time to clean up the thread which I've cut. Yeah, that's better. And go all the way around. In the end, it should be so easy that there's no friction. But at the moment, of course, there are lots of little bits of metal in there that have been cut off. But you can see it's coming quite nicely. And there we are. You can see some of our shavings from this process. Needs a little bit of help. There we go. So, up to me to clean it up. As you can see, here's some quite a bit of shavings on here now, and we'll get to the next stage. Okay, see you later. Okay, so I'm just holding the handle so that you can see the thread I've cut. At the moment it's still full of debris from cutting, but what I'm going to do now is to take the compressed air line and just blow all the little bits out, and I'll catch you after that. So it's looking pretty good, I think you'll agree. Okay, so you can see the very nice screw thread I cut, and the name of the game will be to see if we can get that to mate with the screw, which is that guy, and if they will fit together. So let's have a try. So as you can see, it's a very nice fit, and very probably for the last bit I'm going to need a wrench, but you can see it's a very nice fit. Of course, we don't want the silver, we want that to be black, and that's going to be our Glassbreaker, and it's going to be our hammer. So on to the next stage, which is to remove the zinc plating as gently as possible, because we don't want to alter the shape significantly. We just want to get down to the steel. Okay, so on to the next stage. So I've got the bolt now in different jaws, these aluminium protective jaws of the vise, and that's going to protect the thread. And I think I'm going to take a file, a gentle file, and try and get these numbers off. I really don't want these numbers on here, or letters rather. And I'll draw file these first, and then I'll put the thing in the drill to get a nice kind of radiused shiny effect. But that's I'm getting ahead of myself. And the other thing is I'm going to file these very, very gently in this direction. You can see it's been cut by being stamped, and the lines of the stamp go vertically, and so I want to go across those and get rid of them, just to make it as nice as possible. It's difficult to make bolts pretty, but I'm going to do my best. So catch you later. Next step is the filing. So I don't know if you can see that, but I've got really all of the writing off, and it feels quite smooth to the touch. You can see that I've used something like a half smooth file to do that. It feels a little rough to the touch, but you can see that the ridges are actually very close together. It's a fine tooth file. I did have my smooth file ready, but I think I'm not going to use that. I'm going to maybe try and do the face now by spinning it and taking an abrasive to that, and that way we'll get through you can see that still this is through to the steel, but these bits are still the zinc plating, so I want to get rid of that. What's still zinc is the edge here, which is beveled, and also these bolt faces, the sides of the bolt here. So I want to get those off also with a very fine, I don't want to take a lot of metal off. Here you can just see the dust that I have taken off, and it's really extremely fine. And I don't really want to take a lot off, so I'll try and use the same or similar technique here. You can see it's very shiny, to get down to the steel so I can blue it. Okay? Not blow it, hopefully, but blue it. Okay? Okay, so as you can see, I filed off here most of the numbers. It feels pretty flat. There's still some zinc plating left on there, but I'm going to take that off. And I filed down, you can see I've rather done a nice job of filing down the sides. But as you can see from that, there's still a low point on each face where there's still some zinc plating, and I'm going to have to find a way to get that off without rounding the face, because I want it to be nice and flat. But that's the result of the filing, and the next stage is to do the face of this bolt with some abrasive, just to get off the last bit of zinc plating, so I can later go on to blue it. Okay, on to the next stage. Okay, so I've set up the bolt in the drill, and I'm going to spin it for a while on this abrasive, which is 240, and then in a minute, when I've got round the corner, there we go, we'll be able to have a look and see what effect Okay, so this is what I was hoping for. We've got a very nice, come on camera, focus, really a very nice finish on the bolt here, and of course that will be translating into black when I've managed to use gun blue on the bolt, on the steel. The rest of the thing is, as you can see, is still zinc plated, but that's going to stop it rusting, so I'll leave it like that. But I want to get the zinc off these bolt faces. As you can see, there's a low spot in the middle of each face, and I think I have to just take each face and rub it very gently on a file until the low spot has gone away. So, but that's the initial attempt from that rather traditional looking bolt with numbers on it and letters and whatnot, to something that looks quite attractive. Okay, so on to the next stage. So here we are, we're still going on. This here is a file, as you can see, and what I'm doing is using this file, lying it on the bench and taking the various faces of the bolt. Here you can see there's the shine of a remaining bit of zinc plating, but the rest of the steel is now filed fairly flat. So you can see that this is coming along. That face, for example, has only steel. This one has a little bit of zinc plating. This one has only steel. It's very nice flat filed, and so on. And as you can see, the face of the bolt is also looking very nice now. It's only the bevel that is still zinc plated. I've still got to find a way to remove the zinc from there, because we want to make the whole thing black for the to fit on the knife. So let's take a little bit more. Here's a face that has quite a bit of zinc plating on. You can see this. There's also a little bit of sunken area. So we're going to put that on the file now, and I'm going to draw it along the file. This is my finest, and this is the way we're getting a very even flat face, but because it's my finest file I have to clean it once in a while, quite often in fact, just so we don't get all of these teeth filled up. So that's beginning to look quite good. Let's have a look at it. Yes, anyway, you see, you can't see, there we go. It's this face, this one, and where there had been some scratches and quite a bit of zinc plating, now it's fairly good. So I'm going to continue on this. I won't bore you with the rest of the filing, but you see what I'm up to. I'm filing them flat without taking too much metal off, just enough to take the zinc plating off. So I think we're getting where we need to be with this. We've got a nice shiny face. We've got abrasive has taken off the zinc plating on the top of the bolt, and with the file and with some 600 grade or even better, we've polished up the sides of the bolt head. So the rest of it is still zinc plated, but I think that's probably going to be a good thing, just to stop it corroding. And now I think it's time to blue it, so or hopefully not blow it. So on to the next step. Okay, so here is the next step. I'm going to be using my handy bluing fluid, which is this one. It's made by the same people who do gun cleaning fluids, and so the way to apply this is with Q-tips. So what I've done is I've cleaned the bolt now with brake cleaner, and what I need to do now is to very quickly, or rather apply a liberal quantity of bluing fluid to all of these steel sides now, and to allow it time to go black. So here we go. You see, it's gone black pretty quickly, and the longer I take to apply this, then the longer it will, the blacker it will be. And so this is having the desired effect. I'll just cut to be able to show you, I hope you can see that, yes you can, how this is now going onto all of the steel parts and making it nice and black. If you remember, it is zinc plated, and this will have, this bluing will not successfully, or at least I'm not expecting it to, successfully blue the zinc plating. We can try, but it's certainly not part of the remit to of bluing to turn zinc plating into black. So we'll have a go at it. Time to use the other end of the Q-tip. There we go. Lots of fluid. Smother it in fluid. Surprisingly, it does seem to be going black, but we don't know exactly if that's going to stay. Here we go. So all of the faces again, nice and dense, and this polished face, if you remember, just getting it back in frame. There we go. And the longer I leave that, the blacker it should stay or get, and then we can rinse it off with water when it's time. But I think we're looking pretty good, I must say. It's coming to exactly what I was hoping for, and we can try and can you see that? So it's gone quite black now. So let's put the lid back on. See if that will stand up. Yes, it looks like it will. And let it dry. Okay, so I've washed it off. I've given it a slight coat of thin oil, light thin oil, and you can see there's a very nice bluing finish, very nice finish on each of these faces, and that's exactly what we were looking for. Amazingly, it does seem to have turned some of the zinc plating black or blue, and so the next step will be to take this and introduce it to the pommel of the Austrian Glock 78 field knife. So here we are, we're almost finished. Just screwing this now finally into the thread that I cut in the handle of this Glock 78 field knife. It's a M14 thread. Now using my ring using my ring spanner to tighten it, and there we have a hammer and a Glassbreaker on the pommel of the Glock. Now you can see there's a little bit of this is Glock 78 field knife. There is a little bit of a gap here. I think this is due to the fact that the base of the screw is actually slightly larger diameter. So I'm going to have a look at increasing the diameter of the hole to get a more snug fit. But I'm already pretty pleased with the way this looks. There is actually a knife, a survival knife you can buy on the market, which has a similar idea with a large bolt on the top, or a bolt head on the top. So this is definitely a lot harder than the little plastic cap that used to be on there, and I think this modification is a keeper. So we'll just have to see what the way is to improve the fit and to get rid of this little gap that you can see here. Okay, so on to the next stage. Okay, so as you can see, I've reduced the gap, and in fact it was just down to doing a bit more, using a bit more force to screw it in, because the screw cutter of course is tapered and doesn't do the cut the thread really quite as far as you would like. So there you go. That's it. I think I'm quite pleased with this, and so it's a definitely keeper. It's added a bit of heft as well to the whole thing, and I must say I'm really quite pleased. So I hope you found this interesting. You know, all the usual stuff. If you like what you saw for my ramblings and little projects, then please subscribe. If you liked what you saw again, press like, and keep coming on back for more, because the ideas certainly haven't run out. And thank you very much for watching. Bye now. So, here's the finished object. A Glassbreaker and hammer for the Glock 19's pommel. I think it's quite good. Let me know what you think. I think it's quite an easy and quick project to add a little bit more usefulness to the Glock 78, or to the one with the sawback, which is the 81, I think. So there we go. Glock with a hammer and a Glassbreaker. So there we go. This is Rob signing off for another you can see the finish with just a little light film of oil, like one does after bluing. There you go.